Hello, my name is Kimberly Meier, and I want to welcome you to a Bull City International Film Festival sneak preview. Today, we're talking with Bradley Charlton, writer and director of Fading Petals. How are you, Bradley?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Awesome. Well, if you're ready, we could jump right in.
Let's do it.
All right. So why don't you tell me how you got into filmmaking?
Wow, well, that's a long story. I used to do sport. I used to play football, soccer, and I got an injury, and I was bedridden for a very, very long time. So there was nothing to do but watch films. And slowly but surely, I watched more and more and more, and thought, I like this. This appeals to me. And I had very little formal education. So I took it upon myself to go and get some qualifications, and I got enough to go to university, and I studied film at university.
Wow. Well, congratulations. That's a
Thank you.
interesting path, and wow.
Thank you.
I love that. I love that story. It's amazing how our life can change in an unexpected way and lead us to what we're meant to do. So that's
absolutely. It was something that I don't think anyone saw it coming. There was no real indication that that's the path I would take. But honestly, one of the best decisions I ever made, leaving the sport and going into film.
That's wonderful. Well, tell me about the inspiration for Fading Petals.
That's another good question. It's an odd one. We made a short film called Binary Truths in I think it was February of 2020, and we finished the post-production on it. And at that point, I had a discussion with the kind of key core crew members, and we agreed that we felt ready to take that step up to a feature film. So I had a script written, it was ready, it was called The Trespassers, and it was an ensemble piece. And then obviously lockdown, the whole COVID thing happened, and we quickly realized that it wasn't going to be possible. But we still all had this desire. So I said to them, leave it with me and I'll get writing. And I'm not a very fast writer ordinarily, it takes me a long time. But this took, I think it was about 10 days. I had the first draft written. And I think the final film, like the shooting script, was done within about 3 weeks. It was very, very, very fast. And there's no mention of the pandemic in the film. There's no masks or anything. But it is a film about isolation and loneliness. And I think those themes, the life that was going on around me, just seeped into that screenplay. So yeah, not the film we intended to make, but it was in fact the film we made.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was going to ask if you had any unexpected challenges making that film, but it sounds like COVID was one of those. So
it was enormously difficult. I think as the making of the film, the story of the making of the film is as important as the film itself, the context behind it. I mean, the entire thing was shot in 11 days. We had so many restrictions. We had no more than 5 people on set at all times. So it was immensely difficult, and it was one of the most challenging things and I think I can speak for the rest of the crew, have ever done. And it certainly wasn't easy, but an incredible experience. And I think one that, because the other thing you have to bear in mind is we were in a COVID secure bubble. So we actually, the house that is in the film, we slept, ate and lived there, and also worked there during the days. So we were just in this cocoon, and it was a wonderful experience.
Wow. Well, I think it's
challenging.
Incredible what you achieved, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, is there any advice that you would give anyone who's interested in any aspect of film? Maybe they're afraid to start or just don't know where to start?
Yes, I mean, I was that person about a year and a half ago, and it can seem rather daunting. And I just thought to myself, I don't know where to start. No one's really told me. No one had the answers. So I thought I'll just start somewhere, and you start with, you know, writing a script. You have to, I think that first step is always the toughest one, to actually begin the process. But just do it. I mean, it doesn't matter what equipment you have, what crew, what access. Write smart, use what you have, use the people around you. You pull in favor after favor after favor, but just do it, because now it's so easy with the technology we have. You can shoot a film on your iPhone. And I think, I do think it's doable, and I would just encourage people to take that leap of faith and do it. But the one thing I wish I had known more about, and the one thing I would recommend people do research and try and understand as best as possible, is the distribution side of things. Because it's all well and good making a film, but if no one sees it, it's such a great shame. So yes, understanding distribution before you even begin making the film, I think, is very, very important.
Well, that's some really great advice. Absolutely. Thank you. Well, goodness, before we sign off, I do have one final question for you. Do you have any upcoming projects that we can look forward to? I enjoyed the film Fading Petals, so.
Yes, hopefully. We're in talks at the moment to get a project greenlit, and it would be a period piece, quite a big thing. So touch wood, that will come to fruition. That one's called Riding for Air, but we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed.
Yay, that's so exciting. Well, I will definitely keep my eyes open for that. That's exciting.
Thank you.
Awesome, Bradley. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and for your words of wisdom, and for sharing a bit about your film and your history.
No, thank you for having me, and I'm really excited to see how the festival develops and unfolds.
Absolutely. And speaking of the festival, as a reminder for our viewers, the 5th Annual Bull City International Film Festival is scheduled to be held virtually from March 4th through the 7th. So mark your calendars and be sure to check out Fading Petals. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.